There is a new documentary that has professional black women all over the country shaking in their boots because Hulu is making a documentary about Freaknik. All right, so for those of you who do not know what Freaknik is, it was Freaknik. Yeah, see, a lot of y'all do know what Freaknik is. Freaknik, it was a raunchy spring break kind of party for college-age black kids back in the 90s. So it's kind of equivalent to Girls Gone Wild, all right? And many of the women in the documentary who were in Freaknik, they're now in their 40s and 50s. Okay, can somebody put a camera close to my face? Okay, because many of the women who were back in Freaknik, they are now judges, they're lawyers, they're doctors, they are politicians, they may even be daytime talk show hosts who were at Freaknik. And, you know, and here's the thing, none of these women, none of us, I mean them, want footage of being raunchy back in the 20s. This was never supposed to see the light of day. This is absolutely horrific because let me tell you something, in the Freaknik days, when you were down there, you were on the floor twerking, you were having big fun, you had no idea that you were gonna end up being maybe the vice president or something, or you know, a president's wife. You didn't know, or maybe, I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying, you were young. You didn't know, and they had these big cameras around, but you didn't know that big old camera would be the bane of your existence now that you're in your 40s and your 50s. You know, you didn't know that when you was in that wet t-shirt contest that you were gonna be a wife, a mother, or a talk show host. You didn't know that. But I do want to say, if any of y'all have a picture of me in that wet t-shirt contest, can you send it to sherryshowtv.com? I'm just saying. But, you know, Freaknik was the big thing. Back then, you know, you saw guys with cameras, but you didn't know what they were doing. You just wanted to win some money. People were throwing water all over you. It was just a fun time when you were in your 20s. And that's the thing. We have done things back when we were in our 20s that we don't want our kids to know about. You don't want your kids to know you was in Freaknik. Just the word, I mean, you want your kid, when we're parents, we want our kids to be all they can be. You want our kids to go to college, do something. But the problem is you lose all credibility when your child knows that you were in Freaknik. You do, because the moment you go to tell your child something, I said do this, or I said you gotta, the first thing they're gonna say was, well, mama, you was at Freaknik. I mean, things like that happened when we were young and we didn't know should stay back when we were young. Even thinking about it, John, I don't need to know that Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson was at Freaknik. I don't need to know, because if she was at Freaknik, she wasn't Ketanji, she probably was Tanji. I'm not saying she was, I'm saying if she was, they'd have been like, up next, Sweet Tea, coming to the stage.
Not Sweet Tea,
Now, Sweet Tea, but you know, you don't think back then when you're young. The thought, I picture like my girlfriend, Cheryl Lee Ralph. The thought of Cheryl Lee Ralph busting it open is a little bit unsettling. This is what success looks like.
Not at Freaknik.
Not at Freaknik. It is really making people shiver in their boots. My friend Kim Whitley, she caught her son watching some of the trailers at Freaknik. Take a look.
Josh, what you looking at? What you doing?
Watching the Freaknik documentary.
Freaknik! Turn that off! Joshua, turn that off. That ain't appropriate.
No, it's not. It's nasty.
The Freaknik, I mean, it was like a party thing. I mean,
Why? You was there?
no, I wasn't that. I mean, I was around Freak. I didn't have his hair.
Was you in
I was a little bigger. No, I was smaller. I was younger.
Mom!
I think you just found me.
Oh my gosh, Kim, that don't make no sense. You was in Freaknik. Now, what kind of example are you setting for your son? That's ridiculous.
Is that Auntie Sherri?
Okay. Yeah, I did it before Christ. I didn't know what I was doing. I was young. It was bad. Don't judge me.
I just say, Oh my gosh. And thank you, Andre Laval, for doing that video for us. But I say we were all young ones. So ladies, I share your pain and I'm joining the movement to stop that documentary. Woo, my goodness. Oh.